the word or, which I want you to remember is a plus. We're adding the addition property for probability. In this section of videos, page 803 and beyond, we're going to talk about the probability, determining the probability of one or more independent events, the key word being or in that problem, and determining the probability of one or another dependent events. Reminder, events are independent when the outcome of one event doesn't influence or tell us what the next likely choices are for a following event or for a related event. So independent versus dependent as an idea, pretty much common sense, but there is a mathematical rule behind it, a statistics and probability rule behind how we can determine whether two events are dependent or not. And we'll get into that. Let's do some spiral review. And if you haven't picked up on these already, all of the mathematics that's actually really like mathematically complicated in probability is addition and multiplication, comparing fractions. So let's practice adding some fractions and subtracting some fractions. Let me zoom in on number one. Okay. We'll call that good for now. So number one is the fraction 1/2 plus 1/3 minus 1/4. To add fractions or subtract fractions, you have to have common denominators. So in these three fractions, the denominators are 2, 3, and 4. And if you look at multiples of 2, so I'm going to make like an on the side list. Multiples of 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. It keeps going. 16, 18, keeps going. Multiples of 3, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, keeps going. And then multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and that keeps going. The lowest common multiple of all three of those numbers is 12. And so the way for us to add fractions is to scale up the denominator so that all three fractions are scaled up through multiplication to get to that common number that they all have as a common multiple. So 1/2, in order to take a 2 from 1/2 and turn it into a 12, reminder for some review, you have to multiply 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 times 6. Now the fraction was originally 1/2, but in order to multiply the 2 up to a 12, by multiplying by 6, we have to keep the fraction equivalent, so I got to multiply the numerator by 6 also. Now we look at the 1/3. To make a 3 turn into a 12, 3 times 1 times 2 times 3, 3 times 4. 1/3, we're going to multiply the 3 by 4 to make the 3 scale up to 12. And if you multiply the bottom of a fraction by 4, it's out of balance, so you got to multiply the numerator, the top of the fraction, by 4 to keep the fraction in balance. What I mean is, this fraction here is still equivalent to 1/3, still the same. If we didn't multiply the numerator and denominator by that number, we wouldn't be able, we'd change the fraction, and we don't want to do that. Last one is we're going to subtract by a 4th, so minus 1/4. And in order to turn a 4 into a 12, you multiply by 3. So 4 times 3 makes 12, but what you also do is multiply the numerator by 3 also. So this really creates a fraction, one fraction, where the denominator of that fraction is 12. And the top of that fraction is 1 times 6, 1 times 4, 1 times 3. And now we simplify by adding the numbers in the numerator. We're going to keep the 12 the same. We're not going 12 plus 12 plus 12. That's like the size of the pizza slices when you think about fractions and fraction math. So 12 is the denominator. But we need to do 6 plus 4 minus 3. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 minus 3, 7. There it is, question 1. You know, question 2 and 3 is just a repeat of question 1 just for practice. And while you might want to use resources like Photomath, you should be able to do this without any extra resources like digital resources and whatnot, or friends or anybody else. Go try to do number 2 and 3 perfectly without help, because you are capable of doing that. I'm going to go ahead and keep the video going while I do that, but if you feel like you've got enough confidence to get number 2 and number 3 done without me, go ahead and end it here. But I'm going to do number 2 and number 3 for you, so that's what I'm going to continue to focus on next. If you're still here, thanks for watching. Otherwise, the next video after this is page 804, the OR compound probability. Okay, continue with number 2. 6, 4, and 5, 30, no, 60. They all can multiply up to 60. So that would be 6 times 10, 1 times 10, 4 times 15, 3 times 15, 5 times 12, 2 times 12, which becomes 10 plus 15, subtract 24 over 60. And then 10 plus 15 is 25. 25 take away 24 is 1. So this is 1 over 60. Okay, sometimes it's good to have like scratch paper as well just to do these. Okay, 3 and 8 and 2. These are the denominators. So 3 and 8, 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 24. 24, right? Because 8, 16, 24. So I need to turn a 3 into a 24, which means the numerator must be scaled up by the same amount. I need to turn an 8 into a 24, so we'll scale up the numerator. I need to turn a 2 into a 24, and I ran off the edge of the paper, but 2 times 12 makes 24. So this is the scale up, and scale up to make 24 be our common denominator. 24. So then 2 times 8 is 16. 1 times 3 is 3. Take away 1 times 12, so minus 12. 16 plus 3 is 19. 19 minus 12 is 7. So this reduces down to 7/24. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next episode.